Good morning, happy Tuesday. Welcome to Morning in the Mountains and story time with Santa and Mrs. Claus.
Yeah.
You know, we're getting better at that. You know, I swear to God, every week we get a little closer.
Pretty soon we could almost be pros.
Nah.
No. Oh, well, it was the
That would take all the fun away. Anyway, we hope everybody's had a wonderful week. It was a beautiful weekend. A little on the humid side, but David promised us lower humidity on Saturday and Sunday.
I know, our weatherman David Aldrich,
And Captain Accurate was dead on again.
He was.
It's always nice to tune into him and find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Of course, we always check with him before we come down from the North Pole.
We do.
So we want to know what we're flying into. That's why I'm in short sleeves. It's going to be in the 80s today. Boy, you people don't know how good you got it down here.
So it's going to be a little different. So, you might see us in a little more summertime attire because it is starting to get into the high 80s today and 90s. Maybe even 90 tomorrow.
Yeah. David said 90. Now, it's still a little cooler up north.
Yes.
However, we're actually into just jacket weather pretty much, and because we're used to that. So, but anyway, but we got a terrific show for you today. We have another special guest with us, and this is this is something near and dear to Santa's heart.
I was just going to say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So it must be near and dear to our heart.
Our hearts, yes. Would you like to explain why it's near and dear to our hearts?
Well, coming from where we come from at the North Pole, we have obviously so many of our elves and not as much today. Because there's a lot of machinery and factories and such that help make our toys. But 100 years ago, a good portion of the toys were made by hand.
Well, and even today, before we put it into like a factory,
that's true.
It has to be made, it has to be created, and it has to be hand done. And those very first toys become very endearing to us. And we hang on to them. We've got some of the earliest toys going back.
We do, we even have
long before.
We have like a kind of a museum store up at the North Pole that we love to actually visit because we've got samples of all kinds of different things going back several hundred years and with the toys. So
anybody
arts
that
and
works
crafts
with their hands and creates things out of nothing or what wasn't there before.
Yeah.
We just absolutely love that.
And it's such a talent.
It is. It's incredible.
A very good talent. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, outside of the North Pole, there are so many talented people that work with everything from wood to glass to pottery to cloth, textiles, etc. And we are blessed. We have a very special guest who actually works with a lot of these crafters and works in the store. So if you would help us welcome to Therica Breazeale with the Coalition for Appalachian Ministry, or CAM Cabin Crafts for short. Welcome to our show, Therica. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
So go ahead and tell us a little bit about CAM and what you do and where you're at, etc.
Well, CAM Cabin Crafts is one part of the Coalition for Appalachian Ministry. And we've been around, the ministry has, for better than 50 years. The craft shop became a part of the ministry in the late 90s. And we're located on Wares Valley Road as you come from Pigeon Forge. Just as you cross the county line from Sevier to Blunt, right there we are in a log cabin right beside the road. And from the outside, The log cabin just looks like a log cabin till you get inside. And then you will see lots of crafts. We have handcrafted, handmade items from well over 200 crafters.
Wow. Oh, wow. That's impressive.
From 10 of the 13 Appalachian states, we have representatives. A lot of my crafters will be senior citizens, but don't let that fool you. They're very talented, very skilled. Some of them have been doing their crafts, like the gentleman that makes these flintstone knives, for 40 years. So
that's actually a stone blade that he has crafted, and I would imagine it's fairly sharp.
It can be. It is. This particular stone is agate, Tennessee agate stone. And I could tell you how he does it. I would probably mess that up a little bit, but he takes another rock, actually, and he'll take a piece of stone and he'll do what they call flint knapping, and he keeps chiseling away on it to make the blade. And he can make it actually very sharp. Some are not as sharp.
They're more decorative kind of thing. Yeah. They're beautiful. The handles and everything are gorgeous. I understand he puts a buffalo nickel on every one.
That's kind of his trademark, I guess you would call it. But he either puts one, this particular knife, he put the nickel in the handle. But for a lot of his knives, it will be attached somewhere on it. But these are traditional flint rock knives. So, like I said, we have a little bit of everything. We have quilting, we have weaving. I have weavers that have been in Sevier County born and raised. The lady that does my weaving now is 5th generation weaver.
Wow.
She weaves a particular pattern called wig rose, which dates back to the English political party wig, W-H-I-G.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
so it's an English pattern.
Yeah, in fact, I was going to comment when I was looking at that actually reminded me of, I didn't know that correlation there, but it reminded me of an older kind of pattern that you saw in the 1800s in particular. I know I've seen.
Yes, ma'am. So we have a large variety of crafts, from woodworking to quilting to handmade soaps. This is a local lady that makes this soap, and it's honey based. They actually have their own beehives and harvest the honey, and she puts it in the base of her soap along with different herbs and spices. So I mean, we have everything.
Potters and,
Yes, we have people. We have from the inexpensive to the expensive. We have from everyday use to something that you might not use every day, but would be more decorative maybe.
Right.
But the purpose the craft shop serves in the ministry is to provide this free marketplace for our crafters. And the way that it works, when folks come in and shop and make a purchase, majority of that price tag is going to go to those crafters.
Oh, that's good.
And for a lot of them, this is a much needed supplement to low incomes. And I will tell you about one lady in particular, if I may. She is 90 years old. She is a widow with no children, and she has arthritis really bad. But in order to sort of keep herself limbered with her hands, she still crochets. And her item is a pot holder. It's a hugely popular item.
Yes, yeah.
Everyday use, and she uses that to supplement her food. What she makes supplements her being able to buy extra food. So this is part of the ministry. but when you come in, you're just going to be amazed at how much is in the craft shop, what you can find. One of our most popular items is this little thing.
And is that a scrubber? Or?
That is a scrubby. It is crocheted.
Oh, okay.
It's crocheted. I don't know how. This is a local lady, and these are the handiest little things. And people come in and buy them by the dozens to take back home, because they might be, I have a lot of repeat customers. So it might be a year before they come back, and they want to make sure they got plenty of scrubbies. So, I mean, these are just practical.
Now, do you use that for like pots and pans,
I
or
use
to clean around the house, or?
You use it on dishes, but it's wonderful on pots and pans. It's super wonderful on those non-scratch pans, that you don't want to get scratched up.
Nowadays.
Yes, I was going to say that. And then also you're right on, particularly fine china, where you want to be more careful of what you're using.
It will not scratch.
Right.
But it will clean. I love them. I use them all the time. So
we need to get several of those,
I
because
think so.
I tell you, we are combing the stores when we come down here,
we actually
and we cannot find anything that we like that we use. So we gotta come and get a handful ourselves. So
and you can throw them in your dishwasher to clean them.
I was just going to say, I'll bet you can do that. So that has a long life to it.
So we have the.
And you're helping a lady that's still a spring chicken.
Yes. Yes. So and they certainly appreciate folks coming and purchasing their items, not just for the monetary part, but this gives them a purpose.
Sure.
And it makes them feel good to know that they're still capable and able to do something that people like and want to purchase.
Right.
And that they can do something, on their own to take care of themselves.
And don't you think too, and this is what I think is so particularly special also about your store and others like that, is that this is keeping that Appalachian tradition alive and well, that people had to work with their hands. They didn't have a lot of money and there weren't even really stores around to go to buy things. So they were called upon to make their own everyday items.
Right.
But they oftentimes made those a thing of beauty. So, because that was something to decorate their home with. And then it kind of went from there to where they actually started to make just some beautiful items. So I think that's wonderful that you are keeping that process alive.
Yes,
well, you've got some fans out there. I see this. We've got Mary Klein D'Angelo that says hi from Hendersonville, and she loves Cam. And Pam Harris says she loves Therica Breazeale. So.
Well, I love Pam. I know those ladies. They are wonderful people.
And Diane Lady Hawk says it's a beautiful place to find unique items, and it most certainly is.
Well, great.
And I have a question. And hello, Felicia. I'm glad you like my shirt. Thank you. It's so much more comfortable than the ones I've been wearing. Oh, and Jill. Good morning, Jill Dillner. Now, let me ask you a question. If you're a crafter, especially a senior crafter, or you're talking about, being able to sell some of your wares, how do they contact you, or are you interested in new crafters?
Yes, sir. They can contact by phone at 865-448-5940.
Okay.
We do have a website, camcabincrafts.com. We have our own Facebook, so they can look us up under Cam Cabin Crafts on Facebook, and just contact me. I'm always interested in looking and finding new crafters. There's just a couple of requirements. One of them is that they have to live in Appalachia.
Okay.
That is the area that our ministry serves, and it has to be something they make. It can be made totally from scratch. It can be something that has been repurposed, you know, that they could take and redo it. And,
right.
You know, so always interested, always, because another part of the craft shop purpose is also to continue those traditional items like the weaving. Very few people do weaving like this. She weaves on a pedal loom that her grandfather built for her in the 40s.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And so very few people still do that kind of weaving or the hand quilting. So we want to keep those traditions alive.
Absolutely.
Appalachia has a lot to offer in talent that I think most people don't know about or get to see every day.
And of course, these would be beautiful in your home, in your bathrooms, or as gifts.
I mean, that you know, that's another thing. You know, we're so fortunate to be where we are here at the Smokies in East Tennessee, and something like this is not something that you're going to find in other states necessarily. So if you have family that particularly live outside of the Appalachian area, then wow, what a wonderful thing to do is to go to the shop and not only shop for yourself, but for others as well. So and get them a really unique, special gift that you cannot get anywhere else.
Now, Emma Hardcastle, and I have a funny feeling I know where Emma's from.
Oh.
I think she's from Great Britain. But anyway, Emma says, these all look so interesting. You ought to see them up close. I mean, they really are interesting. They're beautiful pieces.
Yes.
And Diane says that it's in Blount and Sevier County line, right at the county line, off Wears Valley Road. She says, a wonderful place. If you haven't been, take a beautiful ride and explore. And it is a beautiful ride up through there.
If you haven't, and it is true, because you can just come right from Pigeon Forge. It's a beautiful, little twisty turny, but not too terribly bad.
No.
And you go right through, this beautiful, beautiful area, and then come out in Townsend itself, which is actually where Kate's Cove.
Yeah.
So if you're going from Pigeon Forge
that's
to
how
Kate's
you get to
Cove,
Kate's Cove.
that's how you get there, and then you'd want to stop.
We're just 11 miles out from Pigeon Forge.
11 miles, she said. Okay. Now,
now, Felicia was asking, is Knoxville considered Appalachia?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That's what I would say anywhere in the East Tennessee area, because we're right at the foothills.
Yes.
So.
And Santa, we have a Christmas room. We have a room that is just Christmas year-round, all kinds of handmade Christmas ornaments and decorations.
I needed to hear that.
Well, I think that's someplace we're going to have to visit, Santa. Now, the other thing, and you talked about this a little bit, but I do want to bring it up to people, is that you do have a website, and I'm going to read it again. It's camcabincrafts.com. And right now, I actually have it on the crafts tab. And you also can order online. Is that correct, too, Teresa?
Yes, ma'am.
So for those of you that can't be here, or maybe want to just keep looking to see some of the unusual items that they have, then, in fact, there's right there a new item with driftwood cross. And so that's really pretty too. So again, you can either stop by personally or do online.
And remember, she has over 200 crafters. So every time you go in there, you're bound to find new items and new treasures.
Yes.
So you should make it part of your regular trips. So, and certainly, if you're visiting out here in the Smokies, I would definitely put that on your to-do list. So,
absolutely.
And talk about bringing something truly from the Great Smoky Mountains home. to you.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
that's made in the Appalachian region, and whether it's made here in the Smokies or, again, a surrounding area. But they're one of a kind. They're all handmade. So this isn't something that you're going to buy and going to see somewhere else on shelves. So this is going to be something unique.
Well, Teresa, we can't thank you enough for bringing some of the
thank you
beautiful
so
wares
much.
with you and for visiting with us.
Thank you.
And
for
we
the
hope to
opportunity.
send a lot of business your way. And,
Yes.
and we'll have you back again, and you can bring some more stuff.
I
We will be there to see the Christmas room.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, and in
Yes.
fact, it sounds, now, we're not exactly sure on timing here of when, but it sounds like in the very near future, I think we might be coming
Taking
to
a
visit
ride.
and taking a look at some of the beautiful things that she's got here already, and then in the store itself. So,
Yeah, she was
we
nice
would
enough to
love
come
to
visit
have
us, so
you.
we
Yeah,
might just
so-
return the favor, and
Yep.
we'll show you some of the stuff that she couldn't
Uh-huh.
bring with her.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
We
So
would
keep
love to
tuned
have
to
you.
us, and again, yes, thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
joining us, Teresa. This
Thank
has been
you
a
all.
real pleasure.
Thank you.
We couldn't resist, since we had Teresa here with the handcrafted items. We had to bring two of our own.
Yep, that was
And-
recently gifted to us.
Yes. And these little bobblehead are made, and they were gifted to us by our dear friends Randy and Terry Fritchman. And they actually found them at an arts and crafts show. So, and they thought of us. So yes, so we've got little Mrs. Claus and Santa Claus. So-
And again, just as we were talking about with Teresa there, the amount of talent that is in these mountains and in this area,
yeah,
and then of
it's
course
huge.
when you expand it out into Virginia and
Yeah,
Georgia
yeah.
and Kentucky and all, it's just so amazing. And boy, I'll tell you, if you're looking for anything of a unique nature, you know, certainly Cam Cabin Crafts is one, but also there are so many arts and crafts shows, and of course the artists that are along the line
Glades.
in the glades in
the
Gatlinburg. Yeah, just fabulous.
This
So-
whole area really is there's large parts that are dedicated to arts and crafts, and so yeah, there's quite a few things to look at and to find, and this is a very special area for
It
that.
is.
So.
It is. So, and I think that just about does it for us today.
I think so. Thank you so much, as always. Thanks so much for joining us.
And again, a special thank you to Therica Breazeale
Yes.
for bringing her
Yes.
crafts. And I hope you all get down to Craft. What is it? Cabin Crafts.
Easy
Cam-
for you to say. Yes.
Said it too many times this
Yeah,
morning.
Cam, Crab, and Caps.
Okay.
Crafts.
See?
Oh, wow.
But thank you for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next week. Till then, have a safe week, and be nice to each other out there. Okay, bye-bye.
Take care.